Welcome to Eden Live, where I'm reading all of Eden by FREI live on Facebook and on YouTube, and the recorded clips then find their way onto Instagram, IG, TV. We are in, and indeed on, the Planet Walk, which is volume 5 of Eden by FREI. I just had to check this. And we're in the penultimate short chapter of the Planet Walk. That means the penultimate of the 8 planets that feature in here, and that happens to be Mars. I knew this would happen. I knew I could stay this, but not forever. I knew I would have to confront it. I knew I would not get away with keeping away. I'm on my way home. The fact that I entertain a notion of home is in itself a symptom of growing up, surely. Growing in, growing through the crises, the awarenesses of it all, the doubts and the fear. Between horror and terror, I stand on the seat of the gods and I feel me a warrior. Ha! Who would have thought that I could answer the call, hold my head high and keep my gaze straight and look upon earth in the distance and say, I salute thee, mother, and I charge thee to welcome me back. Be a man, he said, and I knew what he meant. No controversy, no hesitation, no confusion, and no offence. This rust-coloured dust, this thin-skinned robustness, this unflappable sense of the just, of the righteous, of the direct, of the cause, and the anger, the wrath, the outrageousness of it all. There's nothing twee about it, nothing humorous, fun, camp, harmless, or charming. Ere I lose my sense of proportion, I shall steel my spine to this ire. Stupidity, wantonness, cruelty, and fear. The stubborn ignorance of greed. The tyrants, the egomaniacal butchers and keepers of slaves. They are an outrage. One as destructive, as unenlightened, and as inhumane as the other. There, the slaughter of innocents, the imposition of rule, the indoctrination, the violence, the cult. Here, the willful deception, the making of unholy myths, the falsing of facts, the aggrandizations and the buffoonness, the rhetoric, the gestures, the meaningless phrases, the orange, the hair. The beauteous soul in my sinuous body wishes it were not so, but nature is war, and until I dissolve into the particle waves and the unnamed insubstantiality of connection, I have to make a stand and be counted. Too long, maybe, have I tried to avoid this, too long shied away, too long have I hovered above ground thinking it all, the dirt, the blood, the grit, that word I never ever liked or was even willing to use. The bone and the marrow, the shit, the severed limbs, the crushed skulls and the unwanted guts spilling into the mud, the jealous, the mean, the preoccupied with survival, thinking them all and it all quite beneath me. It is, of course, quite beneath me under my feet. Will I or no, I trample the trodden no less than the soldiers who scavenge the field. I only know how to behave. Politeness. There is virtue in civil conduct, and in the refusal to simply surrender, but form on its own now won't function. Sad, sincerely, but so. The scorn, to be put in this position, to not be released, to have to respond, to be set against something so real, so unavoidably ugly, in this land of the alien, on this inhospitable neighbour. My sense of humanity and what I wanted to mean here is challenged, deranged. I am out of joint, but not out of scope. These forces cannot be contained, perhaps, but they can be conquered with spirit, with wisdom, with core. With arguments? No. With reason? Not likely. With strength? Not with force. And with purpose. But it is still a war. There are battles that need to be won. I survey the plain of utopia and pronounce this my moment of muster, here of all places. This desert has nothing that I want to own except my presence, and that is now no longer negotiable. There comes the instance when you know that all else is missed. The haze doesn't clear yet in the distance, but I do sense the bridge. This tying together of thoughts with the elements that are also in me, lest I ignore them. The substance that I fashion to my own design. Titanium and graphene. If there be materiality, make it exquisite, sophisticated, and strong. There is no feebleness in wanting good. There is no harm in seeking softness, no despair in keeping faith. There is no shame in hope, no loss of self in selfless love. Embracing all of it, being it, and sending the signal. I take me a cue from the lingering Trojans and inwardly smile, even laugh. Ha ha, now is the time to go forth. I have no fear and no loathing, and nothing to prove. Less still have I to lose. I have quite left me behind my despair. I see me one coming towards me, whom I may yet be willing to join, or he me. And if that be so, then so much the better. There is a lion yet to the eagle, but it is not the content and not the end. It is but a chance to make some things completer. And I'm sure now of the simplest of things, that I am. Mars, from the planet walk. There's one more to go, which is Earth. If you've been paying attention, then that's the one that's still missing. And then we go on to something, once again, really quite different. Because then the planet walk will be over and done with, and we move on to the tape. But that's next time, next week. If you're watching it in real time, if you're watching it in your own sweet time, this video, then it is whenever you find the next installment. And until then, I hope you are able to keep well, stay healthy and sane, and take good care, and love and let love, and see you